Welcome to Cat and Jess Talk the Best, where we're going to talk about IMDb's top 250 movies from April 12th, 2018. My name is Katarina Rogers.
I'm Jess Benavides.
Today we are talking about Before Sunset, which is a drama romance from 2004. It is also the second part in a trilogy. The three movies are Before Sunrise, Before Sunset, and Before Midnight. This movie has an 8.1 rating on 193,205 votes. The spoiler-free synopsis: 9 years after Jesse and Celine first met, they encounter each other again on the French leg of Jesse's book tour.
Yeah. So, the director is Richard Linklater, who did all of the Before trilogy, and a movie called Boyhood. And that movie took about, 12 years to film, because it actually did the, actual life of a boy. Yeah. And then...
It took so long.
Yeah.
Wait for a kid to grow up.
Exactly. So, the main actors are Ethan Hawke, Julie Delpy, and Vernon Dokchev.
And if you're a big horror fan, Ethan Hawke is the father in Sinister 2.
Yes.
And he's in a couple other horror movies, but doesn't really have a big part. He's in The Purge.
He does more horror films than romance films, which
is good because he's better at
horror. Yeah.
So Rotten Tomatoes, the average rating was an 8.3. It got 95% on 172 critical reviews. Fresh rating, Fresh Tomatoes was 163 critics, and 9 critics gave it Rotten Tomatoes. Their consensus is filled with engaging dialogue. Before Sunset is a witty, poignant romance with natural chemistry between Hawke and Delpy.
I would have to think that's a big lie about the natural chemistry, but whatever.
I mean, they're critics, so they're right?
Yeah, they're always right. Critics are always right. You always can
they're
trust
paid.
a critic.
Disney pays their critics.
Well, it's Disney. Disney has money.
That's why Marvel gets such good ratings. It's because they're paid.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not hating on it. I love the Marvel movies. I'm just saying, that's why they get such good reviews. Is they're paid.
And Disney owns everything almost. It's true.
Yeah, Disney owns Star Wars. Disney owns Marvel. Disney owns Pixar.
Mm-hmm. Is it 20th Century Fox now?
No, that deal has not gone through yet. They don't own them. Yet. It probably will.
There's that big word, yet. Disney will find a way.
Oh no, it'll go through, but it's just one of those things that just hasn't gone through yet.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it's the whole monopoly thing. You got to make sure that it's not a monopoly, and it wouldn't be because AT&T still owns Warner, which is Warner Brothers, and then Universal is still its own thing. So there's still a bunch of studios out there. Just Disney owns
a lot.
4 right now.
True.
They will be owning 5.
Yeah.
Not including Disney. Which Disney is Disney, so. Alright, so the income. The budget was $2.7 million. The gross income for the U.S. was $5,820,649, which they just barely made double their money. Which means they just barely made back their money.
Yeah.
Because you kind of have to... The way it works in movies is you have to make at least double for it to even be considered profit.
Yes, that's true.
And then internationally, they made $10,171,966. So the entire worldwide, they made $15,992,615, which would be considered good.
Yeah.
It's not great, but it's good. They made back their money, and they made enough for it to be considered a success.
Yeah.
Whereas if they had made just the $5 million, it would not be considered a success. Their opening weekend, they made $214,425. Which, now, if a movie makes that on opening weekend, something is wrong with that movie.
Yeah, that's like called a big flop.
Yeah.
That means it's bad.
The all-time domestic rank in the, like, where it's been on the income list, it is number 5,372. There's lots of movies that are made a lot more money than this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Its highest...
Can't stop laughing because we know why.
Oh, God. So the highest it's ever been on the list was number 3,473 in August of 2004. So if those numbers don't really tell you something about this movie, then go for it, watch it, whatever.
We're not going to stop you if you want to watch this. Or if you've already watched it.
Yeah. So, for the awards, it didn't win any Oscars, but it was nominated for one. The Empire Awards, it won Best Actress. The International Cinephile Society Awards, it won Best Picture. National Board of Review's Special Recognition for excellence in filmmaking. So it didn't even win an award. It just got recognition.
It's like, good job.
That's like the participation trophies that kids get now. Like, you tried, here you go.
Good job, you tried.
The New York NYFCO Award Top Films of the Year. Online Film and Television Association. It won the award for Best Music, which is the adapted song A Waltz for a Night, and Best Cinematic Moment, which was the final scene. Okay. San Francisco Film Critics Circle won Best Actress. And Village Voice Film Poll Best Film and Best Director. So some of these awards I don't agree with.
I feel like they're just participation awards and saying, here you go, good job, sport. Like that final scene one, really? Ugh. I can see the song. It's a nice little song.
Yeah.
It is.
So, our initial thoughts. So, we watched the first one separately, which was before sunrise. So that we kind of knew what was going on. And it was torture.
It was torture.
We're not big into romance movies.
No, that might cause part of the reason why we didn't really like it.
Yeah.
But, still. There wasn't much to this film. Really isn't.
No, I didn't really like it.
Go ahead.
Would not watch this one again. We have to watch the first one again because it's on the list, but...
Higher up on the list, too, which is amazing.
Yeah, it's like 208 or something like that.
I will say, I just felt like I was trying not to fall asleep during watching this movie, and most of it, it's just talking. That's all it is. There's some witty lines. That's about all it's got for it. And the one little song at the end.
Yeah.
That's about all I liked really about it. But
I mean, my notes for the past 4 movies have taken up the entire page. Because I write 2 columns. I don't even fill up the first column.
I had half a page also. Because there's really not much to go on in this film. There really isn't.
Nah.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
Alright, that was your warning. If you haven't watched the film yet and you wish to, then you might want to stop here and watch the film and come back.
Yeah. So, the first film in the trilogy, Before Sunrise, is based in Vienna. And this one is all in Paris, France.
Yep.
And it's set 9 years after the first film. And it actually is in real time. It's actually 9 years after the first film came out.
The first one came out in 95. This one came out in 2004.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a few flashbacks to the first movie. And basically, Jesse wrote a book and he's on a tour. He
Yeah.
wrote a book about the first film.
Yes, pretty much. And the book's called This Time. He says it's fiction, but it's really about that before
Yeah.
sunrise.
Yeah. Celine is there towards the end of the signing. He has like one question left and he's answering it, and he looks over and she's standing there kind of over on the side, and he keeps looking over at her. And then he has, my guess is like 2-3 hours before he has to catch his plane home, so they go out coffee.
Yep. Was it at the end of Before Sunrise? They said they're going to meet each other in Vienna 6 months after.
Yeah.
And, well, he asked her if she showed up, and she says, no, my grandmother had died, so I
And
couldn't.
the funeral was the same day they were supposed to meet.
And he showed up.
Which I don't know if he was lying or not.
I don't know either. He's just...
It seemed like he was lying.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't like Ethan Hawke very much as an actor, but that's my personal opinion. I just don't really like any of the things he's been in.
Yeah.
That's just me.
But I like Sinister. It's a good movie.
It's horror. It's different.
Still.
Yeah.
So,
There's just something about him.
he was asking her, how did you know I was going to be here? And she's like, well, this is my favorite bookstore in all of Paris, even though it has fleas. I was like, okay. I didn't need to know about the fleas, but...
Yeah, that was a little weird.
I mean, my favorite bookstore does not have fleas, but that's because it's Barnes & Noble.
Yeah, that's true.
I have a membership to Barnes & Noble. I spend way too much money there.
We have to make sure she doesn't, go every time she goes into Barnes & Noble, she doesn't have to buy a book.
I have been in Barnes & Noble 2 times without buying a book.
2 times. That's impressive, Kat.
Yeah. One time, it was with my brother. He was getting something for my mom for Mother's Day, and I was helping him. So I didn't buy anything, because we didn't have a lot of time. We just went in there real quick, and I was like, well, she would like this and this and this. I didn't really have time to look for myself.
Yeah.
And then the other time, I was wasting time in Bobo, and I got there, and 5 minutes later, Dana texted me okay, I'm ready. I'm like, oh. So that was, I would have bought something.
Oh, yeah.
But Dana saved me. Thanks, Dana.
Thanks, Dana. Kat's got a lot of books. I can see them.
I have 260 physical books and 500 ebooks.
Wow. She's got a lot of books. So they catch up as they're walking around. There's this garden area through the streets of Paris.
They're heading towards the coffee shop.
Yeah, she talks to how she, because in the first one, she's a student, and she's working on her degree. She got her degree in political science, and...
She's an environmentalist.
She's an environmentalist. She works at an environmental...
firm.
Yes.
Something like that. Have you watched How I Met Your Mother?
Yes.
Marshall.
Oh, okay. Like that.
Yeah.
Got it.
Sean watches that all the time. That's the only reason I've seen it. So that's a comedy.
That's never... Alright, so... She works in an environmental place. She went to the U.S. to study, actually.
Yeah, for 2-3 years to get her master's.
Get her master's in New York.
Yeah, and they were in New York at the same time, found out. And she's telling this story about how she had heard something out on her fire escape in New York, and so she calls the cops. Cops show up 3 hours later.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. If you hear a sound and you're scared, cops aren't going to show up immediately.
No.
They're more concerned with...
Or murder.
I don't know about that, but...
I mean, come
they're
on.
usually pretty late to those too.
Shootings, anything bad, big and bad like that.
There's a complete difference between America and other countries when it comes to law enforcement of
Agreed.
Of standards, and that's what she's trying to get across here. And the cop asks her, "Do you have a gun?" She says no. He says, "You better think about getting one. This is America, not France." That's a big fuck you to America. Because if a cop tells you you need to have a gun, then we're doing something wrong. I mean, I believe in guns. I'm from Texas. It's just such a difference between... I mean, probably now not as much because there's all kinds of everything going on everywhere. Her telling that story is just like a big in-the-face thing of how different America is from the rest of the world.
Yeah, that's true.
And then another line, she was talking to him about his book.
Yeah.
And because this is just mostly dialogue, there's not really much to this movie.
It's all dialogue. I'm sorry. I had to put my hands on my face because I'm like, dialogue.
Yeah, it's pretty much all dialogue, so there's not really much to take from this. But they're talking about his book, and he's like, well, nobody really reads. And he says, most people haven't read Moby Dick, so why should they read my book? And that reminds me of a video I was watching on Facebook a couple days ago. This guy goes around, and he just walks up to random people and asks them to name a book. And none of them can name a book.
What?
Let me show you this video, because it's so annoying. Like, when I read the line, I was like naming like 7 or 8 books off the top of my head. But them, they just couldn't even do it. You're gonna get mad.
Can you name a book?
Oh, yes. I don't read books. But, what's it called?
Can you name a book?
No.
Can you name a book?
I'm trying to read books. Yeah, that's it.
A book? The Lion King.
The movie?
Yeah, the book.
You read the book The Lion King?
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Hey, hold on, man. I haven't even read it. Hold on. Let me think. Hold on. Can we cut this and do it again?
Can you name a book?
A book? Any book? The Jungle Book. It's not a book, is it? It's a movie. Jungle Book, sure.
Is it?
Both.
Be sure?
No.
Do magazines count?
No, those wouldn't be books.
That's correct.
I can name Moby Dick. That's an artist. He wrote a book called Horse. I like that book.
Moby Dick was the author.
Yes.
And the book was Horse.
Yes. That's what I said, huh?
What?
What was the last book you read?
Probably Dr. Seuss.
Dr. Seuss.
Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss, maybe?
I haven't read a book for like 12 years.
I'm drawing a blank.
This one makes me mad.
Jeez. I need books. Sorry. I am totally blanking out on books.
What do you do for a living?
I was a librarian.
All you have to do is pick up a book, because when you know how to read, the adventures come to you.
I was naming like 20 in my head.
Yeah.
They went on.
Yeah. I saw that video and I watched it, and I was super mad.
I'm like, Harry Potter. Come on. Hunger Games. Fall in Our Stars. Tale of Two Cities. I mean, we can keep going.
But yeah, that quote about the books just made me think of that video that I watched this week.
Wow. They're literally just like walking. They walk to the talk at the cafe, they walk to the garden thing, then they ride this boat.
Yeah.
And the boat is where he talks about his marriage, right?
Yeah, he's married.
He's married with a kid. His kid's name is Henry. He goes by Hank, and he's 4. And his wife is an elementary teacher.
Yeah. And
they got married because she was pregnant.
Yeah.
And he doesn't seem happy about it.
No. There was one part where she asked him if he looked any different. He didn't answer, he just kind of smiled. She said, I do. And he goes, I don't know, I'd have to see you naked. That exact same little bit there is in Before Midnight.
Which is the third one.
Literally the exact same thing. They're not doing the same thing, but it's the same lines.
Very creative. And this was nominated for what? Best Original Screenplay?
I don't think so.
I think so.
Best Picture, Best Actress. Nothing about the screenplay.
Hold up.
It might have been nominated, but...
Oscar nominee for Best Writing. Adapted Screenplay.
Well, that line is original in this one.
Yeah. I looked it up on.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, that line that I just said is original in this one, not in the third one, where it's repeated.
I like how she goes off, though. She just goes off on a huge rant, saying that his book that he wrote, because she read it, it just reminds her of how when she was younger she was so romantic, and now she's turned just all cynical and just...
Yeah, she goes, I was fine until I read your fucking book.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
I like that. Because she just goes off, like, gets a little hysterical, too.
Oh, when they were on that boat, wasn't it a tour boat?
Or like some kind of taxi or something.
I thought it was like a tour boat.
Because it stopped at different places.
Could just been that kind of tour,
Like
I don't know. But I was just thinking, I was like, if that was a tour boat, they weren't doing a very good tour. They weren't saying anything.
Nah. I don't know. I thought it was like a water taxi or something.
Maybe it was. They started arguing about whether or not they had sex in the first movie.
There's a lot of sex talk. Like a lot.
That's all they talk about in the third movie, too.
Sex, sex, sex.
She has a little kitty that looks like my kitty.
Yeah, that's true. Because they go back to...
That's the best part of the movie.
They go back to her apartment, and... Because he wants to hear these songs that she wrote.
Yeah.
And she's got a cat.
Yeah.
Super cute kitty. Oh yeah, when they get to her apartment, you notice that too. He pointed out that the doorknob was in the middle of the door, not on the sides.
On all the doors in the apartment complex, it was in the middle of the door.
Don't know if it's a French thing. I don't know.
I've seen it in some other movie, but I don't remember what movie. I can't think of it right now.
Yeah.
All I got.
And then, when they go to her apartment. She makes tea and everything, and then he's sitting on the couch, and he's like, play that song, and she's like, well, I only have 3 in English, and she plays the one that she actually wrote for him. It's this little waltz.
One, she was like, I have one about my cat, one about my XX, and then a waltz.
A waltz.
I was like, play the one about the cat! I wanted to listen to the one about the cat. I don't care about the rest of it. I want to hear the song about your cat.
She wants to hear the cat one.
The cat looks like my cat. He's a little bit lighter and smaller, but...
Looks like Booth.
He does look like Booth.
Yeah?
And she was like, oh, this is my kitty. He's so cool because he comes out every day, and so I bring him out into the courtyard, and he looks at everything like it's brand new, and he's never seen it before. I was like, that's a cat for you.
That's a cat. That's just how cats are.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she plays her song, and then they start listening to music, different kinds of music. He puts a CD on, and he doesn't go on his flight. He doesn't go on his flight. What was it, like, one of the last lines, she says, you're gonna miss your flight, or something.
Something, I don't know.
And he's like, I know, and just watches her, and she's just, like, dancing around.
Huh.
That's how it ends.
Yeah.
God.
And then, I guess we can go ahead and talk about the third one. I watched the third one. Did you get to watch it?
No, because I was waiting to watch this one so I could watch them in order.
Wasn't really much point. I felt like when I watched because I watched the first one, and then the next day I watched the third one. I feel like I wasn't missing anything at all.
Okay. I don't know. I barely got through the first 2. I don't know if I can do the third one.
The third one I think is a little bit better. There's more people in it than just them.
Thank God. Because there's literally just 2 characters in this entire movie.
Yeah, there's a few other people interspersed in there, but they're not really part of it.
2.
It's just the 2 of them, yeah. So the third one, it starts out, and Jesse is taking his son back to the airport because he was there visiting him for the summer I don't remember where they were. In some Greece, I think, where they were. They were visiting because they were on vacation as well. And then he walks out after he drops his son off at the airport. He walks out of the airport to the car, and there Celine is. And they get in the car, and there's twins in the back seat.
They have kids. Cool.
Yep, have some twins. And they drive back to where they're staying, which is some resort with some, like, big author, and he always has, every summer he gets couple of his friends together and an author, and they spend the summer there with their families. And that's about 45 minutes of the movie. And then the last hour is Jesse and Celine either doing their sappy love crap and about to have sex, or arguing.
So I don't really need to watch it.
No.
Okay, good, because I didn't plan on it. I didn't feel like it. Sorry.
If I had rated that one, I would have given that one probably a 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can tell we don't really like this film very much, but...
Yeah. So the music, there wasn't really much music in this one. There was an award for Best Music Adapted Song was for A Waltz for a Night, which was the song at the end. And then the only other real music is An Ocean Apart, performed by Julie Delpy, which is the main actress. Box Goldberg Variation number 25. Just in Time, written by Betty Comden, Adolph Green, Jewel Stein, Tommy Tant, performed by Julie Delpy, and then some accordion music. It's about all.
Yeah.
There wasn't really much music in it.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of people.
Yeah, Julie Delpy, she wrote 3, part of the trivia. She did write 3 of the songs. Wrote and performed 3 of the songs for the soundtrack. So there's not much trivia for this. The shooting, it only took 15 days.
Huh.
It was, again, made 9 years before Sunrise. It's filmed entirely on location in Paris. The longest camera take is about 11 minutes long. 11 long minutes. And the film, it was only filmed during the mid-late afternoon.
Huh.
That's the only time they filmed.
It makes sense because that's technically when the film takes place, because it's like a 3-hour window.
Exactly.
So
that's what the director said too.
Because if the lighting's all different, then it doesn't really go with what you're trying to get across. So it's a good thing he had that awareness going. So it's only been on the list once before. It was on the list in 2014 at number 250. And for us, it was 246, so it hasn't really moved at all. And then previously, number 246 in 2010, The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, 1962. In 2012, Jurassic Park from 1993. In 2014, Prisoners from 2013. In 2016, Dog Day Afternoon, which was our movie from last week, in 1975. And then, as of today, when we're recording, 12 Monkeys is number 246 from 1995, and that is a couple weeks away.
Yeah, it's coming up soon. I'm excited about that one.
3 weeks from this episode.
Yeah.
That one
Terry Gilliam movie. I'm all for it.
I like say these names and I can't picture.
Terry Gilliam.
Let me explain this to you. So, I was looking at Facebook, and there was a thing of the scariest horror movie monsters and who played them. And so I had the monster and then the picture of the person next to him. And I was scrolling through it, and I didn't really... I recognize some of them because I've seen them play different things before. When I get to Pennywise, and I look at the picture next to him, not realizing. I mean, I know who
Tim Curry is.
Yeah, I know who he is, but I looked at the picture, and that's not what I thought he looked like. So you say actors' names, and unless I know exactly who they are, like Melissa McCarthy, I don't know who you're talking about.
Let me explain.
I'm so bad at names and faces.
I'm good. I'm better at with actors. Terry Gilliam, member of the Monty Python troupe. How do I explain him? He's got short, gray hair, kind of like 5'10" maybe. You'd have to look him up.
You're not helping.
I know. I'm trying.
You just have to say a character that I would know, and then I would know.
He's not really in a character. I mean, have you seen Monty Python, The Holy Grail? Mm-hmm. Okay, he's Patsy.
Okay.
There, I finally got it across. God.
I told you it's just like... Yeah, I'm not good at it. I just, don't recognize faces.
Names and faces together.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. I'll work on that then.
Alright, so, favorite line.
I got 2.
What are yours?
So, my first one is, even being alone, it's better than sitting next to your lover and feeling lonely. Huh. And these are both by Celine. And the next one is, memories are a wonderful thing if you don't have to deal with the past. It's a good line.
Yeah. The only one that I really liked was that most people haven't read Moby Dick, so why should they read my book?
Yeah.
It's the only one I really... I mean, the other ones I wrote down, but that's just because I wanted to talk about them.
Sure. Yeah, I really like that Memories one.
What was it again?
Memories are a wonderful thing if you don't have to deal with the past.
Sure, let's do that one.
Alright. It's a favorite then.
Alright, so what is your rating?
Oh my god, this movie dragged on, and I almost fell
it's
asleep.
So funny because it was only an hour and 20 minutes.
It's shorter than the other two before in the trilogy, in the before trilogy, and
yeah, because the third one is an hour and 45 minutes, and the first one's an hour and a half.
It dragged on and on and on.
I kept hitting the button to see how much longer we had.
She did.
Like every 20 minutes.
We're like, is this done yet? Come on, let the suffering end. So I would give this one, I'm going to be nice and give it a 3. That's me being nice.
Yeah. I gave it a 3 too.
Yeah, I just
can't do it. It's just, nah.
Romance things they're just not our thing.
No.
I mean, there's some decent romance films out there. There really are. This isn't one of them.
I'm lying. I like romance-ish. It's like fantasy.
Yeah.
Because if you look over there...
Well, you got like...
I've got a bunch of...
Twilight and...
Okay, Twilight was from when I was in middle school. I just have those books. But all of my stuff is not just romance. Like, actually, I have a couple that are over there that are romance. Me Before You. I haven't read it yet, but that's a romance book.
Yeah. There's some decent romance films out there, but honestly, this isn't one of them.
Valentine's Day, I like that movie.
I haven't seen it.
But I just thought that was funny. That's a comedy that I like.
It's a comedy and romance, so it works.
Maybe that's why I liked it, because it was a romance comedy. It was making fun of romance.
There we go. That works. Yeah.
Because I'm not really big into romance. I mean, my favorite couple is Harley Quinn and Joker, or Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy. And I wouldn't say that those two relationships are particularly ones to be fond of.
No, I'm just thinking that. Like, especially Harley and Joker.
Well, I just hate it. People are like romanticizing Harley and Joker. I'm like...
It's not romantic, people.
Those are very codependent relationships that you should not want to be a part of.
No, there's way better ones.
What are we on?
Next time.
Oh, next time. Oh, crap.
It's one of my favorite ones coming up. I'm excited. Can I say it?
Yeah.
Okay, so our next one is one of my favorite Disney films of all time, and I'm so excited about it. It's Beauty and the Beast from 1991. So I'm so excited.
Yeah. I like that movie. I haven't seen the original in a long time.
Oh, I have.
You watch it over and over again, though.
I do. It's like, I have a Beauty and the Beast shirt, I have a Beauty and the Beast dress, I have all this stuff. My boyfriend thinks I'm a little obsessed, but whatever.
I don't think I have anything from Beauty and the Beast. It's not really my favorite. I mean, I like it.
It's not Lion King.
No, I love Lion King.
It's not Lion King.
I love the Lion King.
That's way later, though.
It is. I'm so sad it's so far away.
Mine's coming up. Yes!
You're really lucky. I mean, because I like Beauty and the Beast, but it's not like...
It's not like me squealing.
It's just one of those romance ones I'm like... Nah.
Well, for me, it's mostly the songs.
The songs are good.
It's a great soundtrack. Oh, I love it.
I like the Be Our Guest.
Yes, that is a complete showstopper.
Yeah, I like that song.
Oh, it's great.
It's Beauty and the Beast.
Yay, Beauty and the Beast! Alright, so where you can find us is on Twitter. It's Cat and Jess Talk the Best. Facebook, same thing. Cat and Jess Talk the Best. Our email is catandjesstalkthebest250@gmail. Our website is catandjesstalkthebest.podbean.com.
And you can find the show on iTunes, Podbean, Podcast Addict, Google Play, SoundCloud. SoundCloud's probably only going to have 3 episodes at a time because there's only so many hours that you can put on there. Also, if you want to check out our website, we've got a couple lists on there that are really cool. We have... all 250 films. The entire list is there, so if you're looking forward to a movie or want to be looking forward to one to find out what we think, just go ahead and look at that. We have preview links for all of them. We try to put out the previews every Monday.
Every Monday. For sure. At least on Facebook and...
I try on Twitter, but Mondays are really hard for me because I work like 9 or 10 hours, so...
It's on Facebook, the previews. They are.
Yeah.
For sure.
Sometimes I get it on Tuesdays on Twitter.
Okay.
Then the synopsis for each film. If you haven't heard of it, it's just it's the same synopsis that we use for the spoiler-free synopsis in the show. Where you can buy or watch each film, except for that says film. I need to edit that. And then also, I just recently put up, this past week, the events tab, which we're going to be doing 5 events every year. So our first event that is coming up this year is our Harry Potter event.
Yay, Harry Potter!
We're both very big Harry Potter fans. I have the entire series, and I also am collecting the illustrated edition as they come out. And then I have the illustrated edition of Fantastic Beasts. I have the screenplay to Fantastic Beasts. I have the original book from England of Fantastic Beasts. I have The Cursed Child, and I have The Beetle and the Bard, and Quidditch Through the Ages.
Yeah.
So I have all of them. Like, everything.
I have most of them, too. But I do have I have a Hermione cosplay outfit, so... I've been called Hermione several times. Harry Potter event. We're gonna have our 2 guests on.
Yep, we're gonna have 2. They are going to be able to come.
We have 2 guests joining us on that event.
Yeah, so we're gonna have representation from each house.
Yes, you'll probably have to figure out which house is for each person.
You might be able to figure out our houses.
Yeah.
We won't. We'll decide how we'll do that.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do with that one, it'll come out on July 31st, cause duh.
Cause it's Harry Potter's birthday and J.K. Rowling's birthday. If you didn't know that.
So it seems fair. We will have the Harry Potter event, but it'll be quite a long one because we'll be talking about the first 3 movies / books.
Yes.
And that'll happen for at least 4 years. Every July 31st, it'll come out. because we'll do the first 3 movies this first time, then the second 3. Then the third round we'll talk about
Deathly Hallows.
Yeah, Deathly Hallows. And we'll kind of talk a bit about Cursed Child because there's not really much else place to put it in.
Yeah, it's a good spot.
And then we'll talk, the last one will be Fantastic Beasts. So when we get to Deathly Hallows Part 2 on the list, we're going to skip it because it'll be in the event eventually. So we won't do 2 episodes for that.
I like it.
Then our other events that we're doing a Halloween event, which will be our next one after the Harry Potter one, which that'll come out on Halloween.
Of course.
Not that I'm going to be sitting here at my computer, like, ready to put it out. No, I'm going to be out celebrating Halloween because it's my favorite holiday.
It's mine, too.
So we're both going to pick 2 Halloween/horror films. I think we both actually have our films for this year picked already.
We do.
We'll pick those. We're each going to watch each other's films. I don't think we'll watch those together just because it'll take too long. So we'll watch them separately, get together, talk about them. 4 movies in that episode, so it might be kind of long. But
probably.
I think one of my movies is a very unheard of movie.
Yeah, I don't even know it, and I've heard a lot of movies.
And also for this event, we aren't going to be doing any movies that are on the list. So like The Shining, we won't talk about that. Aliens, we won't talk about any of them that are on the list. We're picking based off stuff that's not on the list. The next event will be a Christmas event. Talking about Christmas movies. We'll each pick 2, Christmas or holiday, because not all of them are Christmas movies.
That's true. Mostly holiday movies.
I know of one that I will be doing.
We haven't talked about this one yet.
No, we haven't, but I have one picked out already. I need to pick my second one. And that's going to be the same thing. 4 movies, none of them that are on the list, which there's only a couple Christmas movies on the list, I think, anyway. Die Hard.
Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
It's on the list, but we won't be talking about it for the Christmas event.
No.
We'll be talking about it when we get to it. I don't remember. There's another one on there. And then February, we will be doing a superhero event.
Superheroes! Kat's super excited about that one.
I am. I'm so excited because I get to educate Jess on the best Batman movies.
If she's going to talk about Batman, I'll just try to figure out what superhero movies to do.
Well, because I'm going to include the animated ones.
I know.
Because they're movies.
Yes, they are. They still count.
I already have one of them.
I don't have any of those picked out yet.
I have one already picked out. I just have to decide on the other one. That one is also none of them are going to be on the list. So, and I'm also going to include Star Wars in this because I do listen to a show that is called Superhero News, and they include Star Wars in their news. So therefore, I consider it as a superhero.
Okay, well, if we're including Star Wars, then that expands it. That helps me out. Thank you.
Because we don't have a Star Wars one, and we both love Star Wars, so we'll include Star Wars and superheroes.
That works.
And then we're going to do a Disney event.
I would love Disney, so I'm excited about that one.
And I think we have our Disney movies picked out for this one, too. And this one's going to be about a year from now. This will be April.
Yeah.
They'll come out in April.
I have to wait a year. Darn.
But the only event that is going to have a movie on the list is the Harry Potter event.
Yes.
The rest of them, we're going to make sure we don't do anything on the list.
Yeah. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 is on our list. Yeah. So we'll just include it in there and call it good.
Yep. And maybe eventually, once we get a few more listeners, we'll do a Q&A episode where that'll be something we do one week instead of a thing else. If we get enough questions. So send us questions, Facebook.
We're both pretty friendly people. Well, for the most part, we're pretty friendly.
Yeah. I'll be friendly for the most part. I mean, if you say something, I'm honest. I'm very brutal. I will just tell you what I'm thinking.
She's blunt. That's why I like her so much.
So, yeah, send us your questions. We'll even answer them on an episode.
Yeah.
Or send us what you think about one of the movies. Did you like a movie we didn't like? Did you hate a movie we liked? Just let us know. And, last but not least, Audio Binger. Give him some listens. Like him on Facebook. He's got some great music. I've downloaded all his music on my phone. I've actually found what song I'm going to use for the Halloween episode from him.
You'll have to
I'll have
listen to it.
Play it for you. Yeah.
All right.
But I think we're done for today, so we'll catch you next week with Beauty and the Beast.
Woohoo! We'll see you then. She has a porg.
I do have a porg. He's so cute.